Hello dear students, I hope you're fine. In this video we're going to talk about chapter 15, Teaching Pronunciation, which is the third and last sub-skill mentioned in the material. Here we're going to define what pronunciation is. Then we're going to determine the role of pronunciation in the English teaching and learning process. Finally, we're going to discuss some considerations when teaching pronunciation. So, let's start. Okay, what is pronunciation? According to the Cambridge Dictionary, pronunciation is the way in which a word or a language is spoken in terms of articulation, stress, and intonation. Now, let's think for a moment about the role of pronunciation in our teaching and learning process. I guess the majority of English students have dreamt about achieving a native-like accent after 2 or 3 years of studying the language. However, as many of you have realized, this is not always the case. As we have studied in the chapter, The Empirical Basis of Second Language Teaching and Learning, there is a critical period hypothesis that explains that after a certain age, it's not possible for students to achieve a native-like accent. So, if it is not possible to achieve native-like accent, what is the point in teaching pronunciation in the classroom? Well, as English teacher, we had to keep in mind that the main objective of the whole process is to develop students' skills and sub-skills to communicate effectively using the target language. Pronunciation, of course, is one of them. So, our main goal about pronunciation is intelligibility, which is the quality to be understood while speaking. For this reason, we have to pay attention on 3 main pronunciation features as follows. The first one is the right pronunciation of some individual sounds needed to communicate the right message. For instance, we have sheep and cheap, cherry and cherry, shoes and choose, washing and watching, cash and catch. Second, we have the correct stress on words and phrases to convey meaning. As you know, we can change the meaning of a sentence by changing the stress word. For example, try to say this sentence many times by stressing a different word each time, and you will see how the meaning changes every time. Let's see. Number 1, I never said I love you. Here the meaning is maybe somebody else did it. 2, I never said I love you. The meaning, maybe I wrote it, but I never said it. 3, I never said I love you, meaning maybe I said someone else loved you, but not me. Okay, third, the right intonation to indicate if we are asking a question or saying a statement. For example, I guess everything is okay, or I guess everything is okay. Now, let's think about some considerations at the moment of teaching pronunciation. First, do we have to use phonetic symbols? Well, it is a good idea to use phonetic symbols with our students and teach them how to read them because they can recognize the right pronunciation of a word by themselves by using dictionaries or websites. However, it takes time to teach the symbols. When do we have to teach pronunciation? First, we can do it as a whole lesson in integrating phases. For example, by starting the class with our recording of a dialogue and work on vocabulary and grammar, and then we can work on pronunciation. Second, we can do it as a discrete slots by separating pronunciation features into bits and working on them during the week. Third, we can do it when an opportunity to do it comes up. So, anytime a pronunciation feature appears from a lesson, we can take advantage and spend some minutes explaining it to the students. Finally, how can we help our individual students? Well, most of the times we teach pronunciation with the whole class, but we can encourage our students to identify their own pronunciation difficulties and suggest some strategies to overcome those difficulties. Now, I invite you to read chapter 15 and check all the interesting activities suggested there. And get ready for our next video conference. There, we're going to discuss them. I'm sure you will have fun. Take good care, colleagues. Bye.